On my way here, I saw a big billboard that says business is the key to economic recovery. I'm sure it's your government putting that up, and I couldn't agree more. I think one of the key to success for any product or service out there nowadays is an acute awareness of what people want and need. Get the clicker. Back in the days when we thought about starting a company, we recognized that there was no solution or no acceptable solution for small and medium-sized organizers to sell tickets online. Technologies had evolved, but that space wasn't taken at the time. We realized that there was an unmet need by a potentially very wide range of customers. So we started in 2006, myself and my two co-founders. We thought about a solution to that problem. People at the time had to resort to managing their contact lists in Excel, doing mail merge in Word documents, sending those via email. They couldn't take payments, ticket sales and registrations were just a pain in the ass to manage. So we thought, why not try to use technology to address that problem? And that was the key to the success of our company. We've been able to sell more than 200 million tickets so far in the 8 years of our existence. And that was based on an understanding of where we stood in technology-related fields and what had evolved over the years prior to that, that made it possible for us to create that service that really resonated with a lot of people that had a true pain. Today, there's all these shifts and different expectations from customers that are constantly evolving. And I'm going to discuss 4 of the trends that we've seen affect our business greatly in the last few years. Unfortunately, they're changing all the time, so I'm sure this is going to be obsolete in a couple of years, but it's good to be aware of these and see how you can integrate these into your own businesses. The first one is the rise of a new generation. You probably all heard of them, the millennials. They've been very critical to our success so far. Who are they? There was a pretty good article in Time. They called it the me generation. And they had a portrait of probably a 16-year-old taking a selfie. It's very caricatural. I think we have a better picture of what the millennials are. They're between 18 and 34-year-old. They grew up with the internet. They grew up with this mass of information. They grew up more recently with the phones that they use all the time, the tablets. They're connected. They don't make phone calls for the most part. They like to chat online. They have very different behaviors than their parents. And as this new generation is coming to maturity and becoming parents themselves, they'll become the main audience for your businesses and for your institutions. So they've had a critical impact on our business in particular. We thought that was going to be the future of the live experience, people sitting in their living rooms watching a concert on their Google Glasses. But the truth is, and we're going to publish a report in the next few weeks about the behavior of the millennials, we found that experiences were valued beyond anything else for this generation. They want to live in the moment, and they don't want to live that online, virtually. They want to be there. They want to sweat, they want to laugh, they want to have fun, they want to share that with their friends, but also with the world. And that had a tremendous impact on our business, realizing that we had to address them in a way that made sense to them, that we had to give them the tools that they needed to fully engage with their peers and communicate about their intentions of going to an event and being able to attract the people they wanted to go with. So stay tuned for that report. We changed our current headline on the site. If you go to the homepage, you'll see "Live More" as our big tagline, and we'll play on that in the upcoming versions of the homepage. But that's going to be core to our branding as well. So we took that behavior change from a new generation and incorporated it into our branding and into our image to really fit with the times. And I think that's a challenge for a lot of businesses out there. A second trend, and you probably all have one in your pockets, is the rise of the mobile devices. It's a very significant shift. It's becoming your primary screen. The desktop is your secondary screen nowadays. You spend probably more time checking your phone every day than actually working on a desktop. That's an extract from the Miamiker's Internet Trends report for this year, and you can see the unprecedented adoption of tablets and mobile phones in blue. They both have risen much faster than anything out there before. TVs, PCs have pretty much plateaued or decreasing. So you see that this mobile revolution is here, and it's here to stay, and you have to account for it and build the products that people expect nowadays to be able to interact with. What did it mean to us? When we started in 2006, smartphones were not, we didn't talk about them at all. They were not quite there yet. But as soon as they came out, we thought about how can we, again, make them useful to our clients. Most of our clients were event organizers. So the first product that we launched, and it was maybe a couple of years after the first iPhone, was a way to do entry management via your iOS or Android device. So we launched that. It was used by a lot of organizers. I don't know if you use them here, but a lot of people are using them instead of pen and paper or having manual checklist. It's much integrated. It syncs with the cloud, so you can see everything in real time. And then we expanded on that. As it became more and more ubiquitous, it wasn't just a tool that a few people had. Everybody had them in their pockets. So we started creating different apps for attendees as well. These are some of our applications for organizers, and also our integration with Passbook that enables you, when you buy a ticket, to put it into your Passbook for iOS. And for attendees, we also came up with an application. The first use of the application was to hold your ticket, so you don't have to print it out anymore. It was environmentally friendly, all the things you can attach to that. But more importantly, it encouraged people to download our application and make a long-lasting connection with our brand. So after we implemented this ticket holding feature, we started expanding the features on the application. Now you can browse events that are happening nearby. I pulled it up yesterday and looked at what's going on in Dublin, and there's a very wide variety of events that you are probably not aware of until you pull the app and do the same. We also realized that people are interacting with the site very differently than they were before. So we spent the whole month of July, we stopped everything else. We put our entire engineering team on making every page on the site responsive. Responsive design is a fairly new concept. It presents data differently based on the size of your device. So if you see in the middle, it's the view that someone would have on their tablet of our new homepage. It's the same code exactly that you would see on the web. It's the same code that you would see on your phone, but the representation is adapted to your device, so you don't have to pinch and zoom. You don't have to do all these tricks that you have to do when you end up on a site designed for a desktop on your mobile. I know you've all had to deal with that, and it's an atrocious experience. So if you have a website out there and it's not mobile optimized, do the effort now, because it's going to pay off greatly. It's paying off already for us.